I was doing a bit. That's my whole life, baby girl.
A bit.
Your whole life is a bit. What the fuck? Yes, Jason Bones headed up. Jason, that sounds like a really good name, Jason Bones.
Jason Bones. Yeah.
Oh, she mentioned what was it? Knights of Saint Seiya, and I was like, or Saint Seiya Knights of Zodiac, and I was like, I'm locked in. I know what you're about. We can talk. I kind of dipped my toes into the little anime to see if it caught, and she caught like the biggest marlin you've ever seen, and I was like, hell yeah, I got a new friend now.
Yeah.
One person that could go bar for bar anime besides you, it's Bones.
Yeah, it was pretty great. I had a kid at the shop yesterday kind of trying to do that to me, and he's like, well, have you seen this, or have you heard of this? And it's like, Freerin and shit, and I'm like, yeah, dude, what are you talking
Have you ever heard of Freerin?
Like, I have a really good recommendation. They just made it into an anime. It's a Shangri-La Frontier. And I'm like, dog, they already wrapped up season 2. We're waiting on season 3. And he's like, no, they haven't gotten that far yet. I'm like, bruh, I watched it. What do you mean?
That's the same. Like, I like anime. I'm not as deep into it as you all. I want to be, but I'm not. But those people sound to me like, have you ever heard of Naruto?
Naruto. Go Glazers. All of them.
Like, yeah, it's one of those that I think is pretty good for, big dogs, but it's not my go-to. My
favorite is, what is it called? The one, I'm sure, Jason, I'm sure you know this, and maybe you do. The one where they had to do an English dub over it, but they had no
Ghost
oversight.
Stories.
Ghost Stories, yeah.
Ghost Stories,
Yep.
yeah. Ghost Stories. So they were just saying the most vile, ridiculous
The
shit.
most vile shit.
Bro, that's on
favorite one
Amazon.
My favorite is it on Amazon?
Yeah, you can just go watch that shit. I think it's on
my favorite
Crunchyroll
one
too.
is the one where they go to find the cop and she's like, my dad, my brother, my sister, and he's like, that shit gets me every fucking time.
I love the
I'm
one
like,
where
there's a big black man running after you. Oh, he's not racist.
Well, he's not racist. I love. There was an episode with a bunny rabbit. I think it was. That one was good. And I just remember her going, "I said jump," and I say that all the time.
I have to go watch it. I haven't gotten
Oh
to
my
fully
God.
watch. I've gotten to see clips after clips, and I'm just in love with that. So I need to go watch it.
It's good. My favorite anime is the fucking volleyball one.
Haikyuu?
It would be.
Haikyuu. I'm obsessed with Haikyuu.
I started watching Haikyuu, and I got real into it, and then I was like, there's other stuff I gotta watch first. I'll get back into this. And I never picked it up again, and I'm like, I think about it all the time.
All the way through, like, at least once a year. I gotta watch it.
It's been hard this season, because there's a lot of just really good anime out right now.
I need to rewatch Frieren again, because I saw season 1, sometime last year. And season 2 is just releasing now, right?
Yeah, they're not simulcasting it, but they I don't think they simulcast the first season, but it was until recently probably my favorite anime. But I'm gonna make a little asterisk and say, Jujutsu Kaisen season 3 is probably my new
JJK.
favorite one. Not season 2, not Shibuya. That's all under Frieren, but this new season has got me feeling some type of way.
Got you feeling it.
The animation is beautiful.
You know what's crazy? I just realized as you all were talking what my actual first anime, well, besides Dragon Ball Z.
I was gonna say it was a Dragon Ball Z.
Besides that, was Ultimate Muscle, which I don't know how many people actually remember.
God.
Oh my God.
I forgot about Ultimate Muscle. Holy shit, dude!
It's a wrestling anime.
God.
Like,
oh my God, I did too. Oh my God, I remember.
Ultimate Muscle was my shit, obviously, because I was into wrestling, so
right.
It made a ton of sense. But that was my
Oh
shit.
my God.
Know that thing I used to do to Kyle, where I would mention things that was younger than us and older than us to make him feel really weird, or were you not around for that? One I like to bring up is fighting Foodons, because then that song hits people and they're like, oh, why?
I don't think I know
amazing.
this one.
Once you listen to the intro, you're gonna be like, but it also depends on
right.
your age, because it was in a very, very small period of time when I was a kid.
Let me.
people in their people born between 1990 and 1994 are probably like
That you just
Right
unlocked a
at-
memory for me. Holy shit! That just whole ass unlocked a memory for me. I forgot that exists.
that intro is
No,
so
I've never
good.
seen this in my entire life.
Yep, that's usually how it goes. It either knee kicks him in the dick or it goes
Nope, no idea.
Yeah. I need to go watch shit. That's what I'm realizing. I need to go watch more shit.
Bro, I have
I
what
need-
I call the normie list, the people who are kind of into it, and then the people who can just really fuck with it. So, like, if you ever want one of them lists, I got you. Because I watch a little bit of everything.
I need to go watch Tiger Mask too. I already knew that existed. I just forgot that it was actually an anime.
I don't know that one.
That's from New Japan Pro Wrestling. That's a whole separate thing. But it's an actual anime. It's like how the dude from Mexico, the blue.
Are you talking about Mucha
Oh,
Lucha?
No, not Mucho Lucha.
I didn't care for that show either.
Blue. Mexican. I like. It was all right.
What?
Mucho Lucha.
Oh. I had a lot of
Oh,
friends.
the Blue Demon. How the Blue Demon was like a wrestler, but also he was like a Mexican superhero, and he was literally like they had movies about him fighting zombies and shit. Like that's what
That's
Tiger Mask is
tight.
for Japan.
What is this called?
It's actually real cool. Blue Demon is the name of the wrestler. If you go look him up, he has a whole like life incredible story. It's so crazy.
Oh, yeah. I know this dude. Damn, he lived a long ass time. Holy shit.
He did, and he died within a week of revealing his face.
Oh
Yeah.
damn!
That
within-
is the
within a week
most
of revealing his face.
luchador fucking story I've ever heard.
Yep, there you go. The more you know.
That's crazy. Should we stop yapping and get started?
I love yapping, but it's all up to you guys. I'm
I've
Yeah,
been
I'm ready
recording
whenever.
A lot.
Listen,
of
I
this,
just-
so.
You,
I just work
I
here.
thought you said I've been recording this whole time. I'm like, did you?
I've been recording this whole
No,
time. Actually,
usually this is stuff I cut out. Like this never sees the light of day, so don't worry about that.
Give us a good
Um,
cold open though. That'd be funny.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't know if I know enough about it to speak on it
that's okay.
just yet.
I have it in the
Nah.
notes just in case.
Are you saying
Sure.
you don't have the confidence of a white man?
God damn it.
Yeah.
Somebody, who was it? I'm trying to remember who it was, but somebody told me, like, they kind of quoted, I think it was 30 Rock, but they kind of switched it up a bit. They're like, you carry yourself with the confidence of a much taller woman. I'm like, what the fuck did you say to me?
It sounds like something Kirsten would say.
I don't remember who it was. I'm like, that's the most backhanded thing I've ever heard in my life, but thank you so
Super
much.
backhanded and accurate.
And thank you.
I can't even say anything because Monica is like 5'3", and everyone is terrified of her. So
I'm...
Welcome to Chattergang, a pod about the magic and the gathering. I'm your host, Hope Speakin', but you can call me Jose. And this is a very fun episode we're about to get into. First, I do want to say, please remember to like, follow, subscribe, and put on notifications so you don't miss an episode, especially this one today. Because, I was going to do a longer bit here, but this person usually only keeps half her cards, so I'm only going to give her half an intro. Lill, welcome.
That's a great half intro. Thank you so much, Jose. I'm so excited to
problem.
be here.
I really appreciate it. I know we've been trying to figure this out for a while, and
Right.
I think I told you for like 9 months we're going to schedule this. We're going to.
It has been a minute, and we're finally sitting down and doing it.
I'm very happy to have you here. How are you doing today?
I'm all right. I've been keeping myself busy. Not doing too bad. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Thank you for asking. I appreciate it. I'm doing all right. It's been cold.
Yeah.
Where we
Oh my
are.
gosh, it has been very cold, and it's been
Yes.
miserable.
Nondescript Midwestern place.
Nondescript.
Nondescript Midwestern place that has been
Mhm.
very cold because it is winter, and it finally decided to be a normal winter instead of like what it's been like 30s and 50s for the last few years. So it's been interesting to say.
And by interesting, you mean it's been miserable and it sucks.
It's been miserable and it has sucked.
Yes.
But I'm really happy to have you here. I just want to say I'm also really just happy to know you as a person. I've gotten to know you quite a bit over the past few months because we both live in the same state.
Mhm.
So we've been able to get to know each other, even though we don't live super close to one another. We've been able to hang out, and it's been really, really nice to get to know you. So
Yeah, I appreciate
A.
it. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, thank you.
yeah, same likewise. I'm just so glad that I have, Magic friends that aren't only online, but people I can hang out with IRL and just get to know outside of just Magic, just as real people.
Yeah,
And I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too. When did you start? I know you've been playing for a while, so when did you
Yeah.
officially start playing Magic?
I started, I think, right before the release of Dominaria back in 2018.
Mhm.
So I think it was. I remember this. I keep track of my Magic career in standard blocks. So I remember in standard at the time it was like
That's how you know
Kaladesh.
old. That's how
Oh
you
my
know you're an
gosh, I
old Magic
know.
player. The
Well,
blocks, they're
because I
those.
said blocks. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was the Kaladesh, Exelon. I think it was in standard at that time, and Dominaria was about to come into standard. So it was like right between Exelon and Dominaria.
Wow. Yeah, that's
Hmm.
a that I came back myself right the year before. It was the Grand Prix that was in the Cleveland area.
Hmm.
Um, it was in Ket. So like literally a
Yeah.
year before you started playing.
I think
Um,
Amonkhet was still in standard at the time too, because I
it
remember
should have
playing
been.
Approach
Yeah.
of the Second Sun. Yeah.
Yep, yep. And I mean that also says like how long ago it was. There were Grand Prix still. Do you
Oh
people
my
know what
gosh.
Grand
Yeah.
Prix were? Which by the way, let me ask you this:
Mhm.
you have not have you been you've never been to a Grand Prix, I assume, right? Because
No, I played standard, but I only ever, I mean, even to this day, and anytime I do like tournaments, they're always just local. Um, just at like LGS's, no big RCQs or anything. Maybe
yeah,
one day, but not at this time.
maybe when the money's there, because money is so like
Right.
because standard is so expensive.
Oh yeah, for
Um,
sure.
and unless you come up with some magical deck that is like the groundbreaking, and then you have the cheapest version because you did it before then. And you haven't been to a Magic Con yet, correct?
No, not yet. I am going to Vegas this year though. I wasn't featured as a creator, but I have a pass and I do plan on going, so I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, that's really exciting. So, so did you know what Grand Prix were when you first started playing?
Very vaguely, I knew it was just kind of like the big tournament, and it
Okay.
was standard at the time, yeah?
Yeah, it was standard, and then they also had like so when I went and played, they had like a team deck, our team a booster box draft kind of thing. Booster box, limited. So
Right.
you would have two teammates, and you would build a deck out of the box, and then play
That's
against
fun.
others. And that was like a legitimate tournament. I mean, our team did really bad. I did okay, but our team did
Mhm,
really bad.
mhm.
But it was like people from literally all over the country coming to play into those
That's so
things.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
when I started, it was only ever, like, standard and drafts, so any, like, CEDH tournaments or, like, anything outside of that was kind of unheard of, apart from
Yeah.
modern every now and then, but
Yeah,
standard was
yeah.
still, like, the showcase format.
Which I
Mm.
mean, it's coming back a
A
little
little
bit,
bit.
but it has the same problems that modern does, and we can get
Mhm.
into that in a little bit here too. But the main thing I wanted to ask was it a big deal for you to want to go to a MagicCon, or was it just one of those things where you were like, oh, this is a thing where other Magic creators are, other people who play Magic. I
Mhm.
kind of want to check it out. Like,
Uh
what was it for you?
I guess it was a bit of both. It was something because, where we're at, it's not super accessible to easily go to a Magic Con, so it's something
Yeah,
I've had to plan in advance. And it's kind of been on the back of my mind for a couple years at this point, since at least as long as I've been doing content creation and kind of connecting with the community. So
yeah.
it's something that's kind of been on my mind and on my bucket list, but I've never actually really pulled the trigger on it until this year.
Yeah, and I mean, Las Vegas is a great time to do it because obviously
Hmm.
that's one where it feels like most people are West Coast people who are in the Magic
Right.
scene, right? Unless they're international, obviously. Shout out to
Hmm.
all our international folks, especially the one who's been on here previously, Stephanie. We love you. But like, it feels like most of the people in the States are West Coast based, and a lot of those people want to go to the West Coast one because, well,
Right.
it's Vegas. Everyone loves to go to Vegas. But B, it's easier. Like you said, like there's not accessibility matters for being able to go to these things.
Right.
Um, so I'm happy you're able to go though. I think that's a fantastic bet too.
Yeah, me too. I'm super excited, and everything just kind of fell into place. Like now that I have this community and I have friends that are West Coast, it made it so much easier to get a hold of them, and also just knowing that they're going to be there makes it a lot less scary if I'm not going with a group per se.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting, and let's actually talk about let's go back a little bit. Let's go, not as far as
Sure,
back as when you started, but
sure,
let's go
sure.
back to 2023.
23.
Young Lil starting
Oh
out.
my gosh. Yeah, I think that's about when I started my TikTok. Yeah.
It is, and the first thing you show is your rip deck, if I remember correctly. Does that sound accurate?
Yeah, yeah. I think it
And
was. I think that was the first TikTok I put up.
And it was a little bit of a banger, right? Like it kind of hit well with the people, right?
Kind of, I believe so. Oh my gosh, I'm pulling it up right now because I
Yeah.
haven't thought about that video in a long time. But yeah,
Yes.
I'm trying to remember what it was. I think I really just started it because or started making TikToks because I wanted to share that with people.
Yeah.
Because it's it's interesting. It's kind of it is quite a bit of rage bait, so people tend to gravitate towards it and want to see what's going on.
Yep. Yep. And so I guess the first question is, it seems like you've been doing the rip prior to even going online, even prior to ever being online,
Yeah, I
right?
have. So it started as just like a thing that me and some friends at an LGS that I worked at, we would just do it. The employees themselves would actually rip the cards. Isn't that funny? Um,
That's really fun, actually.
so we've been doing it for a couple years at that point, just here and there, especially with the collector packs when we were feeling a little silly. But I wasn't actually the first person to have a flip and rip it. It was somebody. I'm trying to remember his name. His name was Brandon. He also worked at the LGS with me. He had a flip
Mhm.
and rip deck as well. I think it was all 5 colors. But he started it, and I'm like, okay, that's a really cool idea. Maybe I could try and do that. So anytime we ripped cards, we would kind of like trade them back and forth with each other. Like, hey, do you need this for your deck? I could use that for mine, and it's just kind of started from that.
Yeah, and I think it's really funny, and it is a little rage baiting because even me knowing you, I look at that video, I'm like, ah, this is
And
so.
you've participated in this as
I
well.
have, I
Don't try
have,
and get out of this.
but it does, but it, I do it for you. I would never do it for me. I do
Right.
it for you because I care about you,
So
and
you're
I want to
so
support you in your hobby.
so you've never had that thrill, that rush of ripping a card in half. It's never like made you feel any sort of type of way to keep going.
I'm I mean, I ate a food token on camera before. I mean, like I've done some crazy stuff, but
Yeah.
not but I mean, is it fun? Sure, but it's not something I would do with my own stuff. And I do it for you because I care about you and
Nice.
I want to support your vision and
Well,
your
thank you for
goals because
indulging in my ridiculous
absolutely.
hobby.
I can't know if I like it or not if I don't try it, right?
Right.
This is
Sure.
one of those things. This isn't like one of those like you need to try it before you know you like it. Like I don't need to try like everything in the world before I know I don't like it. Like this is one
Right.
of those things like why not? I'll try it, see what happens and
Yeah.
it's enjoyable because you enjoy it
Mhm.
and I care about my friends. But
Mhm.
the other thing I wanted to ask is about your humor because your humor really comes through in your content as has back then even with the one that like I think was your first really big hit was
Mhm.
using your cat as a cat token.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That was a man, you did your research, didn't you? That's also a couple
I,
years old.
yeah, I tried. Well, you're LillTCG. We have to
I
know, you know.
am. Yeah, I
But
mean, that's kind of going back to it. That's kind of why I wanted to start making TikTok was to share the flip and rip deck and kind of just enrage people, whatever. But it's also just because I was such a big fan of like short form content at the time, especially like Vines and that sort of like quick, snappy humor. And I kind
yeah,
of wanted to translate that into magic content.
yeah, and I feel like I mean it seems like it's done pretty well for you, right? Like you've
It
been
has for the most part, yeah.
yeah, you've been growing your community.
I've been
I know
trying.
that I know that, you know, like 6,000 over 6,000 on
Just around
TikTok,
6, yeah.
just around 6 like that's I feel like that's pretty good for a year and a half, a year 2 years and a half. I don't know
Maybe
how
about
long we
2
are at
years,
TikTok.
yeah.
2 years, a
2,
little
3
over 2
years.
years. So like I feel like that's pretty good, especially and Magic has become less niche
Mhm.
over the past, especially since COVID. I feel like it's become a little less niche because I feel
Yeah.
like a lot of people were needing to find something to love, something to like connect them
Sure.
with other people, right?
Right.
So like I've been doing this for just over a year, and like I look at someone like you, and I'm what can I garner from you as a creator to be able to
Oh, no.
other than ripping stuff because I'm not doing that, but like even just being around you, your humor and things like that have really inspired me to try to figure out more of myself because I find your stuff entertaining as hell. It really
Well,
just
thank
is. It's
you.
just entertaining as
Thank
hell. No
you.
problem.
Thank you so much.
So where do you feel like your penchant for that kind of humor came from? Was that like something you grew over time, or is that something like you watched a certain comedian and you were like, I want to do that?
I really think it did just kind of grow over time. I don't really have like a ton of like stand up or comedians that I really look into. It's just kind of more so just hanging out with friends, making those silly, witty jokes in person, and just having a good time, which is why when I started Magic, that's kind of how I got into it was
Yeah.
just hanging out with my friends, playing, kitchen table Magic like anybody else. And what really gravitated and what stuck with me wasn't so much the actual gameplay, but just hanging out and making jokes and having fun.
Yeah, I think I love kitchen table magic. I think that's
Mhm.
something that should come back to, like 60 card kitchen table,
Yeah,
personally. And I know you are someone who's wide in formats, and actually that's probably something we'll talk about here in a second,
sure.
because you are very well versed in many formats, and I know you're trying to get into some too, which I'm very excited for you.
Yeah,
But like, what kind of formats were you playing? So, when you started, the standard was obviously a thing. You were
right,
playing standard,
right,
kitchen
right.
table. Did you start out in Commander too, or that early on, or was that something that you did later on?
No, so the first deck I really had was I remember the old like constructed planeswalker decks, like the 60 card decks.
Yeah.
I remember my friend and I saw those in like a Walmart or something, and we just randomly picked them up and decided that's how I wanted to learn Magic because they had played previously. So it was still very like casual, very much. It was technically a standard deck, but it wasn't like a good standard deck.
Yeah.
So it was very much just I don't think we ever started playing Commander because I don't think the friends I played with wanted to. I think we wanted just to stick with kitchen table Magic.
Mhm. And
Um,
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, then I think after that we found a local game store that we would go to, pick up singles every now and then. But then I think they were holding just like a F&M standard tournament for like
Mhm.
$5. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I could see myself getting into this, like trying this competitive side a little bit. So I remember I put together the mono white like humans deck or the knights
Mhm.
deck that came out with
Yeah.
Dominaria at one point, and that was
Yeah.
like my first like constructed standard deck. And I remember I did kind of well for my first tournament.
That's awesome. I love to hear that. What have you always been kind of a competitive person, like, as it
Oh
comes to
yeah.
when you're playing games, stuff like that? Okay.
Oh yeah, always. I mean, that's kind of one of my favorite aspects of Magic is kind of like I've told you this, personally as well, just kind of min-maxing and playing the most optimal things in the most
Mhm.
optimal way. I think it's really interesting solving that piece of the puzzle.
Yeah. Is it hard for you to not min-max?
Oh
Like,
yeah, always.
yeah. Have you
I
tried not to? Have you tried not to?
have I tried not to?
Yeah.
Yes, but then I think even when I have such like a casual like even just casual commander or like a precon, I'm still kind of looking for those lines as to how to make this the most efficient way, even with what I have.
Mhm.
So even if
Yeah,
I'm
I
not building it for it to be, min max or CEDH or anything like that, I'm still kind of always looking for the most optimal way to play it.
yeah. Yeah, and I think that's what's so interesting about the way your brain works as it comes to Magic. And I mean that in the wholehearted, like genuine way. Like, I think
Yeah.
it's fascinating because I can sometimes I for the most part am very casual. Like,
Mhm.
I play modern, and I understand modern has to be like when you're
Mm.
playing one on one, it has to be a little more direct, a little more cutthroat, that thing. And
Right.
but when it comes to Commander, I am just
Mhm.
so like, whatever happens, happens. Like, I don't play tutors because I just want to like draw into the fun thing, which is
Yeah.
which reminds me of another TikTok that you had early on where you heart of the cards did. I don't remember
The
exactly
heart
what
of
the
the
word
cards.
you used.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, you heart of the cards did. But I think those moments are so entertaining when you can like heart of the cards a moment instead of being like, okay, let me tutor for the thing I absolutely need in this moment
Mhm.
to boom, which is fine. Like that, I also play CDH with you, and I understand
Right.
those aspects, and you have to do that.
Sure, but it's
But
also I think
yeah,
it can be a combination of both, yeah. So where
yeah,
like
yeah,
even with even if I play the most optimal way, and I'm still at the mercy of the top deck sometimes. So you're just kind of
yeah,
piecing that together and kind of going with the flow, which I really like about Magic.
yeah. It really is a really fun aspect, and that actually leads me to the aspect of Magic where it's a little bit of everything that I feel like you like, and it's probably, if
Mhm.
my understanding is correct, your favorite format, Canlander.
Yes, Canadian Highlander.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can
I'll talk
you?
about Canadian Highlander.
Yeah, for the people who don't know what Canadian Highlander is, can you
Sure.
explain it a little bit?
Sure. So it is 1v1 Magic, but I've often described it as taking aspects of two of my favorite formats, so like competitive, like 60 card Magic and Commander. So it's 1v1. I think you start at oh my gosh, I can't even remember the life totals. I think it's a 20 life. And then, but it's still a 100 card deck as similar to Commander, and it's a singleton as well. So
Mhm.
but the difference between that and Commander is that there isn't a color restriction. You don't have one single card that you always have access to. It's just one big, massive 100 card singleton deck.
That is interesting. because a 100 card singleton seems like miserable.
It's so fun. It's got the competitive edge that I really like about like standard and 60 cards, but it's also got
Mhm.
the variety in the it's got the variety in of a commander. But then there's also another aspect where there's like no this is probably important to say, but there's no ban list.
Yeah.
So everything in all of Magic's history has points assigned to them, or at least the most powerful cards assign points. And so you can only have so many points in your deck. So if you want to run a Black Lotus, you can. If you want to run a Mana Crypt or a Jewel Lotus, you can. Not that you would need a Jewel Lotus anyway, but
Yeah.
a Mana Crypt, a Soul Ring, all these super powerful Magic cards that I love playing with. I can run all of these cards in this format, and then you have to
Mhm.
tweak your deck to determine what's worth it and what isn't.
So what is okay? So for you, what is your
Mhm,
deck? What is your like? Maybe not even the deck you have. Maybe that is your ideal. But what is your
mhm.
ideal deck for Canlander?
So my favorite Canadian Highlander deck right now is my Grixis Reanimator slash discard. So I get to run all sorts of my favorite cards. I get to run Thoughtseize, I get to run
Gross.
Abhorrent Oculus, I get to run Mana Crypt, all these super powerful cards that I've played. Even like so many of them synergize with decks I've played in Standard and Pioneer and Modern. I mean, it's so cool and kind of nostalgic for me to be able to play them and combine them all into one single competitive deck.
So, oh my gosh, I like your decks are so beyond my beyond my power. So, okay, so what are some really good cards that aren't high? What was it? 10 points? Is that
10
the
points.
10
10
points?
points.
And so, what are some cards that are like? Okay, for me, I've never played Canlander, right?
Sure. Sure, sure.
So help me. What are some cards that are like really ideal that are no points for a deck?
I just pulled up my list here. So I'm even just like flipping through this. I'm like, I remember playing this card in Standard and this in Pioneer and
Oh
this very
no.
specific deck. So my points, I guess I'll go over that first.
Sure.
You can run the Moxes, which is super cool. So I've got two Moxes. I've got Mox Jet and Mox Ruby in that
Mhm.
deck.
How many points are
Let's
those?
see this. There's three each.
Okay.
A new addition is Psychic Frog. I really like that card. I think that card's really great.
Oh gosh.
That's worth 1 point. But then it's just got so many just classic Magic cards in this deck, like Liliana the Veil's in this deck, Baleful Strix, Ledger Shredder, which was a Pioneer All Star,
Yeah. So those.
Ragavan, Modern All Star,
Ugh.
Counterspell, Drown the Lock, Fatal Push, Force of Negation, Force of Will. Just so many cards that are like so good and they're so powerful, but they also have such like a nostalgic feel to
Yeah.
them.
How many points are like? How many points is Ragavan?
He's not worth any.
Really
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
interesting. How about the forces? How much are those? Are
The
they anything?
forces, I don't think they are.
That feels
Let me double
crazy.
check.
Knowing
It does
knowing
feel
how they
crazy.
play in Commander, that feels crazy to me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So so the Moxes, that one makes sense to me. Moxes makes
Sure.
sense.
Right.
What is the most expensive one? I imagine it's Black Lotus, but maybe I'm
It
wrong.
is
What
Black.
is
I believe it's Black Lotus at 7.
7?
So
Okay, and
7 out
then
of your
like
whole 10 points.
7 out of your whole 10 points, Black Lotus.
Hmm.
What is,
Black
in your
Lotus.
opinion, what is the most worth it points to effectiveness of a card? Is it the Moxes or
Ooh,
something else?
the boxes are really handy. I'm trying to think. I'm just looking at my list right now. Treasure Cruise is worth 1 point, and that feels really powerful.
Treasure
It's
Cruise is
so hard to
great.
find that balance. It completely depends on what you want to do in the format as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to. It's like coming from something where there's no point system. And I know
Right.
a while back when we were trying to figure out like, do we do a bracket system or like how do we do the power levels, which was another
Right.
thing you made fun of in one of your videos early
Oh,
on,
I sure did.
was the like saying, oh, this seems like a really high level. It's no, it's a 7, which
No, it's a 7.
the power levels were like terrible for, right?
Right.
Um, and the bracket system's not perfect, but I do think it's a hell of a lot better personally. What actually? Let me ask you, what's your take on the bracket
I
system?
agree. I like that WotC has kind of buckled down and given definitive, almost. I'm trying to think of the word here. I like that they've kind of set those barriers and boundaries of
Yeah,
what these brackets are.
yeah.
I
Like
think
here,
that's a
like
lot. It's a
you're
lot
coming
easier
up
to
to the
define them that
line.
way.
Like you're coming up to the line here. So if you make this decision, this is what takes you over that line to the
Right.
next section.
Right. I like having those tangible sort of aspects. I like that they've. I know a lot of people don't like the game changer list, but I think it's a good start. I think having that tangible list of cards and being able to start that discussion with those in mind is a good place to start. Obviously, that doesn't completely rule out the rule zero conversation, but if anything, it's a good way to get people talking and start that conversation.
Yeah, and it's I think that anytime you can have the rule zero conversation should have always been a thing, right?
Right, right,
Like the problem is the disingenuous, and there was always going to
right,
be disingenuous people about like, oh, this is a 7, and it's clearly like you're basically playing CDH at the table, right?
right. Yeah, the pub
Um,
stompers. Yeah.
yeah, the pub stompers. So I think it does matter for the even if you don't like the fact that pretty much every tutor's on there, if you don't like the fact that
Sure. Sure, sure.
like Oppo or whatever, like
Hmm.
that's fine, but those are super powerful cards that if you were to play that against someone who is not as experienced
Sure.
would probably like completely change no pun intended, change the game in that aspect. Like if I play an Oppo
Boo.
Asian and if you play a Thassa in bracket 2
Yeah.
and you play a demonic
Right.
consultation in bracket 2, like that completely
Right.
changes how the whole
Yeah.
thing works.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yep. Had that happen before. It was not fun.
Yeah, no, it does happen. And
Mm.
one of my great friends, Hammy, played a played what's the Yuriko deck and said it's a
Yeah.
bracket 2, I swear. And then
Ooh.
it had
Ooh.
demonic consultation and
Yep. Yep.
and
Oh,
Thassa's
gross.
Oracle. And we're
Oh,
like, oh yeah, 2, definitely a
gross.
2.
Oh my
And she,
gosh.
she forgot they were in there. I'm not gonna lie, she forgot
Okay.
they
All
were in
right.
there, but
Fine.
still.
Fine. She gets a pass for now.
She gets a pass. She gets a pass.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm trying to remember the cards that recently got unbanned. We're recording this prior to the
Hmm. Hmm.
bans unbans that are happening on February 9th, which we can
Hmm.
get into that whole thing if you want to. Obviously, this will come out after, but I'm trying to think of the most recent ones where there were like they unbanned
It was
Winota,
when
right?
they
Not unbanned, not
removed her
unbanned.
from
Removed
the
from the
game
game
changer
changer list.
list.
Removed her from the game changer list.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Sure.
How did you feel about some of those removals from the game changer list and then
Oh
the
my
ads that
gosh.
they made to the game changer list?
Let me pull that up real quick because it's been a minute since I've seen them. Because to be completely honest and transparent, I don't pay much attention to the game changer list. When I
Mhm.
play EDH nowadays, I feel like I'm either playing like a 1 or a 2, so very like casual low power, or like a 5.
Yeah.
I I have no interest in going into that like middle ground of the 3 and 4 where it can be pretty ambiguous as to what people are playing.
Which I definitely want to get you into either way because there's a
Yeah.
way to do it without what's the word I'm looking for, without losing the
Sure.
plot, for lack of a better term.
Sure.
Like there's a way to do it where it can be
Yeah.
where it could be skirting, it could be on that line of 3 to 4. Like
Right.
my Galta deck. You played my Galta deck before.
Mhm.
It's good, but sometimes it just doesn't do anything. And then you're just like, okay, like does that deck do anything? And I'm like, it does stuff for me.
It does stuff. It does. It's cool. I promise.
And then there's times where like Keegs will play Eagle
Oh my
and it'll
goodness.
do like all the things and sometimes it
Keegs.
doesn't. And
Mhm.
that that can that's where that line of 3 to 4 happens where
Sure.
you're just trying to sometimes when it's doing the thing it does a thing and there's nothing you can do to stop it. And then sometimes
Right.
it doesn't do a goddamn thing and then they try to do one thing and someone's like counterspell. You're like, "Well, I'm out of
Mhm.
the game now." So
Right.
I
I
would find it interesting.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I feel like I've always never, or I haven't ever really liked 3 to 4s. Maybe it's just because, bad experiences. Like I said, kind of going back to the old power level system where
Yeah.
people, you just get burnt out too many times and you just don't have fun with it anymore because people are saying it's a 7 when it's not a 7 and this
Yeah.
and that. But I've always thought if I want to play something powerful and have my deck do the thing, I could just play CEDH, and that's been my default for a long time. And I've
Yeah.
had a lot less like bad experiences with that because when you play CEDH, you don't really need that rule zero conversation. You can just jump into it. People already expect things to be optimized and everybody to be going for the win without any hard feelings,
Mhm.
which isn't
Which
still
I
even in CEDH. That's still not always the truth because there
Yeah.
can be some politics and all of that. But for the most part, my experiences with CEDH have been a lot easier, a lot more streamlined, and pretty understanding.
Yeah. I think that's an important aspect of CEDH that people forget. Like they just think
Hmm.
it's high power, and people just
Yeah,
I think to an extent, and
sure.
that there are a lot of play patterns that end up being the same thing all the
Yeah,
time. Like we do Najila, and it's a little bit different because at least like it's combat damage, and you're saying here's infinite mana, I'm going to punch you a bunch of times, which feels a lot
right.
better than here's this Oracle, here's demonic consultation, I
Sure,
win.
sure.
but like it kind of falls into that same thing to some extent, but it is more honest because that's
Mhm.
exactly what they're looking to do anyway.
Right, and that's I mean, that kind of goes back to what I was saying about what I like about Magic is kind of
Yeah.
like figuring out that piece of the puzzle and when to expect that as well. So, like, if
Mhm.
I know you have a Thassa's Oracle in your hand, what can I do with what I currently have in my current situation with my hand, anything I have on board? What can I do to stop that from happening and make the most optimal plays for myself?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's something you've turned me around on too. I'm not gonna
Mhm.
lie. I think you've kind of turned me
Oh,
around
good.
on EDH and made me
Oh, good.
realize that yeah, I hate playing against you because you usually win, but I
I've got
know
a
what
lot of
to
practice.
but I know what to expect. I know what to expect. I can see the
Yeah,
play patterns and say, okay, I recognize
right.
this is what's happening right now, and
Yeah,
this is why, and here's how I can stop it if I can stop it.
yeah.
Where
I
I
think
just say,
playing Yeah, I think playing CEDH so much has definitely given me a lot more of like a heads up play style. It's just like rather than completely focusing on me going for my win, I used to have to be completely aware of what everybody else is doing and
yeah,
talking with other people, which is super important. I think CEDH has made me better at politics and even just communicating what you think's going to happen and talking that out with the table and just communicating,
yeah, low
which I also
TCG
I also I also
2028.
try and do.
Yeah. Little TCG 2028. Let's get it.
Too bad I
Joking.
can't.
Yeah,
Too bad I cannot.
stop it. It's because you're so young. Just because you're so
Yeah.
young.
No.
Okay, so looking at the things that were removed. So they
Yeah.
removed Expropriate. They removed
Okay.
Ginger Taxis, Core Augur,
Sure.
Sway the Stars,
Okay. Yeah.
Vorinclex,
Okay.
Kinnan, uh,
Okay.
Urza, the blue Urza, Winota,
Mhm.
Yuriko,
Mhm.
Deflecting Swat, and Food Chain.
Okay. And I remember they gave some reasons for why these were removed, and most of them were just like, "Oh, these can be kind of like rule zeroed out, right?" At least for the
Yeah,
commanders like Kinnan, Winota, or
yeah. Yeah, the commanders can be rule zeroed out. The expropriate, Gingitaxis, Sway, and Vorinclex are because they are expensive,
mana wise, yeah.
mana wise expensive. And deflecting swat, uh, it's a notch below the other free spells.
Sure.
And food chain is incredibly powerful. However, it's a combo card and doesn't risk causing trouble in lower brackets anywhere, which I don't agree with that. But
Yeah, that one's a bit iffy. I mean, when I think of food chain, obviously I see it as a combo card in CEDH, so that my perspective is kind of biased.
yeah,
But
but
yeah,
fair
I,
enough.
mhm.
Fair enough. I don't know. What are your thoughts on the rest of those that we talked about there?
I think, to be honest, I think that's kind of fair. But again, it's hard for me to say because I don't play, that bracket 3 to 4 where typically those commanders would show up. I play Kinnan. Kinnan's been my CEDH list for a couple years at this point, but that's
Yeah.
always in CEDH where, like I said, you don't have to have that conversation about it. People just expect it. Yeah, but the other ones, I guess, yeah, they make sense, especially if you do intend to have that rule zero conversation. But I guess the way I look at the game changer list is is it good enough to be this close to being banned? Like, worst case scenario, could these cards be justified in getting banned? And I don't think any of those are like on that line.
Okay. What is your thought on people who are like that? The game changer list should also have to do with whether or ban list should have to do whether or not it's unfun, like a Nadu, where it was just not fun, or like I mean if you look at modern or standard, where a
Sure.
card is just
Hmm.
overwhelmingly being played that you're just like, you know what, this should be on a separate list or shouldn't be there altogether. Which is why for the upcoming list, people are looking at things like Thassa's Oracle, like
Hmm.
Mystic Study,
Hmm.
where you play blue, you play these, boom. What are your thoughts
Sure.
on those kind of things?
You bring up Nadu. That was my son. I miss him every day. I know he was awful to play against, and I admit it because I've played against Nadu so much in CEDH. But I miss him. He was a good time.
I mean, I knew he would get banned, and mostly because they knew they messed up when they said,
Yeah.
"Oh, we changed it after R&D," and it's like, what do you mean you changed
What
it
do you mean
after
you changed
R&D?
it?
What do you
Also,
mean?
side note, Nadu is only worth 1 point in Canadian Highlander, so you can. I still do have a Nadu Canadian Highlander deck where he is alive and well, and he's doing
I
real
believe
good.
that. I believe that. You're very happy with that, I'm sure.
I am.
Um,
It's fun.
like Nadu just whatever. Like that's a
Whatever.
whole separate issue.
Mhm.
But like in modern, the One Ring was banned, right?
Right.
In standard, Steel Cutter was banned.
Of course, you'll cut it
Like
right.
yeah, like what do you think about those aspects where they look at other formats and say this card is being played too much, this card makes for bad play patterns, it's in
Mhm.
60 something, 70 something odd percent of
I
decks.
feel like the Commander ban list is so different from all of these other lists, though, because
Yeah,
because of it, Commander being such a social game, right? Because you look at Core Steel Cutter, you look at some other cards that have been banned in other 60 card formats. My
yeah,
brain first went to Faithless Looting in Modern, which was like years
yeah,
ago, but
yeah,
just because it was so prominent and was so powerful in these decks. But that's the point of the game at that point, right? Is to win and
yeah.
play the most optimal thing. Meanwhile, you look at Commander and banning something because it's unfun is such like a different perspective to take.
Right. Well, and my I guess my other question would be, does that mean maybe it should be like put it on a game changer list instead? Like that's why Oppo Agent is there because A, it's a
Sure.
super powerful card, but also it's
Mhm.
unfun to play in casual formats because it's like, oh, I want to go fetch, and you're like, nope, you can't fetch. Like,
Right.
so like, what do you think
Yeah.
about it being instead of being a banned outright? Because I agree,
Mhm.
I don't think cards should be banned for being unfun, but what do
Right.
you think about being game change because it's like,
That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I
mm,
I do like the game changer list. I think it's a good like middle ground, and I know that was kind of the reason why it was created in the first place, right? Was so people had that sort of like awareness of what they were looking at or what
yeah,
the rules committee was looking at banning if they ever did need to take that drastic of a measure.
yeah,
So I think
yeah,
it's good. I think it's like I said, a good place to start, a good conversation starter, and it's so easy to figure that out too. Just having such a
yeah,
clean list of cards. So rather than diving into all of these combos, or which obviously you should still do if you do have combos
mhm,
in your list that aren't on the game changer list, but just
yeah.
saying this is a bracket 3 because I have these, what is it, 3 game changers, and then I have
Mhm.
this, and this. It makes it just that it streamlines it a lot, and I think that's really helpful.
No, I agree with that. I think that's obviously a really good take because you know what you're talking about more so than anything. But I just agree with it. Let me ask you this as well.
Sure.
How do you feel about previously? They've changed it now, obviously, which I'm so happy they did. They
Mm.
had it as pre-cons were a two,
Okay. Yeah.
and now they're not. What
They
is
are not.
what is your outlook on pre-cons as a whole as it fits into the bracket system? And like pre-cons in the past few years, because obviously when you started playing, pre-cons were a lot
Mhm.
different than what they are now.
Right.
So what is your outlook on
Oh my
pre-cons
gosh.
in the game?
Yo, precons are nutty right now. Jose, we even played that game with the newest Lorwyn precon with the Ashling.
That
And
game
that
was
thing is
crazy.
crazy.
That
And
game,
I
that
remember we
thing.
talked about this like outside of recording too, was just like that was meant or precons themselves were meant to be like starter decks for people who had never played or like are fairly new to Magic. But it's
Mhm.
crazy to see something so powerful and honestly kind of complex be marketed that way.
Yeah,
Um as for the bracket system, let me pull it up real quick.
yeah.
Excuse
Take your
me.
time. Yeah, you're okay. I'm also just like kind of looking while you're looking at that while you're
Hmm.
looking that up. Is there a card that you want removed from the ban list?
From the ban list,
Yeah,
Mana Crypt. I know it's such like a
it's okay.
generic answer, but I do think
It's a
I
very steep
personally
staple.
never it is a staple. I never ran into it in casual or like, 3 to 4s. Maybe that was just
Hmm.
my experience, so it's pretty
Yeah.
anecdotal. And in CEDH it wasn't like a huge obviously it was a staple, but it wasn't like anything unheard of.
Hmm.
Unlike, Dockside or Nadu, how those kind of warp the entire format. Mana Crypt was just in everything and it was just kind of expected.
Hmm.
Um, I guess that kind of gets into the whole thing about the bands, though, with the
Yeah.
whole situation that I did not like.
Yeah.
And by situation, I mean not the bands themselves, but the aftermath.
The aftermath of the bans. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And we don't have to get into that whole thing. That's okay.
Oh, I can talk
But
about it. That's fine.
all right, go for it. Go for it. Talk about your feelings. This
As
is
much,
this is your
okay,
podcast.
sure.
I'm just here.
As much as do miss Mana Crypt being in the format, I don't think they shouldn't ban it just on the political aspect of what happened after those bans.
Mhm.
Like I don't, as much as I like I said, as much as I miss it, I don't want to encourage any of those people, horrible, annoying people who were awful to the rules committee, to feel justified in their actions, and that if they if they bitch enough, then they'll get their way. And I don't want WotC to encourage that behavior at all. So I'm fine with Mana Crypt and Jewel Lotus and Dockside staying banned as long as it, kind of keeps these people. I'm trying to think of how to word this.
That's okay. You don't have to you don't have to mince words unless you really feel it.
I don't want them feeling justified in their actions because of
Yeah.
cardboard.
But like it's not just complaining. It's literally
Yeah,
you
it's like
can
doxing and threats. That's
yeah. Yeah, if you threaten
ridiculous.
people enough, you'll get your way. Like
Yeah, I don't.
it's
That's not worth it
negotiating
for me.
yeah, the negotiating with the terrorist type situation. Like
Yeah.
you don't want to do that, and I understand. And Mana Crypt being banned and Jewel Lotus being banned did force a lot of variation
Mhm.
in the format, which I think is a reason why the conversation of Thassa's Oracle has come up and Ristic Study has come up as being
Mhm.
banned because variation is still important because you want a game to be healthy. And if it ends up being, because they are running CEDH tournaments, right?
Right.
And at some point you have to look at the numbers. If the
Right.
numbers say like, it's okay. Do you pay attention to the standard, like to the tournaments and stuff like that and the
A bit.
numbers?
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
so like mono red aggro was like 68%
Oh yeah.
or something,
Oh
or
yeah.
like
Mhm.
whatever of the decks, or it was some kind of red. It was either mono red aggro or if it was VV before the ban. It
Yeah.
was VV,
Was this
right?
mono red mouse?
Yeah, mono red mouse
I
is
think
I
like
think it was
Corey
before this.
Steelcutter.
Yeah, it was Corey Steelcutter, Monstrous
Mhm.
Rage, the whole
Mhm.
thing.
And is it
Like
prowess? Yeah.
yeah, and then is it prowess? So like that was like 70% whatever
Right.
of the decks. Like at
70
some point,
70% insane. That is
insane,
insane numbers.
right? So like at what point do you look at tournaments for CEDH and say, oh well,
Sure.
80% of the again, I'm just throwing numbers out here, so bear with me, but like
Mhm.
okay, let's say 50% are win cons, Thassa's demonic. 50
Sure.
50% of the decks. Like at what point do you say maybe we need to change something?
That's fair. It's so hard to say because I mean, really, the only ban that they've had for CEDH was what, Flash, a couple years ago, Flash Hulk.
Yeah.
So you'd have to look at the numbers compared to that, which unfortunately I haven't done because I wasn't playing CEDH at the time, so I have no idea
Yeah.
how prominent that deck was.
Yeah.
I don't know. I get it. I do.
And
That
I'm
people
putting
are
you
just
on the
kind of
spot
sick
with
of
some of
losing it.
this. I'm putting you on the spot with these questions. So like by no means feel like
Oh,
you
you're
need
good.
to say like I have a definitive answer here.
Mm-hmm.
But like it's just these are some of the things I think of like
Mm-hmm.
I know I've told you Greenie and I have talked about creating a like talked about modern and how it can help in vintage, how it can help lead to different play patterns in CDH. And one of the things was Elf Ball and how can that happen. But it also leads to the question of like the way they do bans in those
Mm-hmm.
formats.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something we should also look at now, that especially now since CDH is becoming a very prominent
Right.
tournament thing, where
Right.
like thousands upon thousands of dollars are being won by players?
Yeah.
And do you want it to just be every game? Not, I mean, literally not every game, but I'm sure a lot of the games are Thassa and then some kind of card that makes it go all the way that you have no cards left in the deck or whatever
Mm-hmm.
have you. Like, is that what you want every game to end up being? And then anyone who watches CDH is just like, oh, this is CDH is just, which is kind of what people think it is right now, right? Well, if you
Sure.
talk to someone who doesn't play, they say,
Yeah.
oh, it's just
It's
Thassa's
Dawson's
Oracle in
Oracle.
this.
Yeah.
So like,
Underworld Breach, right?
yeah, or under World Breach and Lion's Eye Diamond, then you just do the thing. So like,
Sure.
at what point do you say this is something needs to change?
It's so hard because like I think I don't remember if Wizards has even put out a statement about this, but with CEDH being basically, I mean, it's still integrated into casual EDH as well, right? There's
Yeah.
no separate ban list or anything, so it's
Hmm.
really hard to dictate if they're
Yeah.
making these bans for CEDH or EDH and how to not like intertwine the two.
Yeah.
And I know there's been a few attempts to make CEDH circuits with their own ban list, but nobody liked it.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to figure that out, and also to keep people not only keep the game fair, but also to keep people interested. None of the players wanted to play in those other outside tournaments because they just wanted to play with the actual like Wizards ban list.
Yeah,
So
because it
how do you?
turns into the like LGS has their own ban list.
Yeah,
Like people
exactly.
play thing, right?
Yeah, and people just just joke it off and just don't want to play it. So how do you find that balance of keeping the game interesting and healthy while also keeping players interested?
Yeah, it's hard, and I don't think there's an answer today. Obviously, it's
Right.
just with the things coming up, you know, I guess you and I will find out, and then
Right.
we'll know by the time this episode comes out what the outcome is of that. But it's just interesting to think like, are they going to go, especially now since previously
Hmm.
Wizards was not in control of the ban list, right? They weren't in
Right.
control of it. All the stuff that we just talked about happened.
Oh yeah. Also,
Wizards is now part of the committee. Go ahead.
oh, I was just gonna say fuck those guys.
Yeah,
Not Wizards, but fuck the people that
the people who did that. Yeah,
who doxed and threatened the rules committee over cardboard.
yeah,
That's ridiculous.
yeah, yeah. And now we are where we are, where you know now things are going to end up probably being financial decisions as opposed to like reasonable decisions.
Right. Right.
Which that's a whole different conversation we can get into another time. But they run the other formats where their concerns are play patterns.
Right.
So I wonder how much of that will go into, even though there's a separate rules committee for Commander that
Right.
involves a lot of people who play Commander prominent in the thing. But I
Right.
wonder for the people at Wizards who are making the final decision, how much of that is going to be something that they're at least bringing up to those committees to say, hey, these play patterns are pretty, you know, this, that, or the other thing.
Right.
It's just a
Yeah.
thought.
It is a thought. And again, I don't know if we'll ever find out if Wizards does ever decide to split EDH with CEDH. I feel like that would be the only solution, but who knows if that's the correct choice.
Yeah. How do you feel about the idea of command banned as commander
Banned as commander in CEDH or just as a whole?
as a whole?
I think I mean it's kind of similar to just having it be on the game changer list, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Because people would still, even if I, say Kennen gets banned as commander, I
Yeah.
could still always just rule zero that in a casual game anyway.
Yeah.
And then that also kind of takes care of the issue of the CEDH kind of prominent decks kind of overrunning tournaments, yeah?
Yeah.
So it kind
Yeah.
of take care of both of them. I don't know. I've never played with Bandits Commander. I'd be interested in trying it and seeing how much that shakes up everything.
Yeah. It'd be like, have you ever played? I've never played it myself, but have you ever played League of Legends?
I know of League of Legends. I have
Okay.
avoided it like the plague. I like the lore.
Okay.
I like the world building and everything, but the actual game I've tried to avoid as much as possible
Fair enough.
for
Have you ever
for
played?
my own sanity.
I don't play for my own sanity. I haven't done it either.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you ever played Summoner's War before? Have you ever heard of that before?
No.
So it's very similar in the thing that I'm going to talk about is very similar where when you do a competitive thing against another player, you have the option to say like you can't play this character. So
Sure.
like in League, like you can't play
Hero
Jinx, you can't
bands.
play whatever
Right.
hero bands, right? So
Yeah.
so I would find it interesting
Yeah,
myself
what I've
to do
also
something like
heard
that.
yeah, what I've also heard for CEDH in particular is kind of taking on a Flesh and Blood system, like the card
Mhm.
game. With Flesh and Blood, I don't know how familiar you are with that.
I am not at all actually.
So it's kind of similar to Commander where you have like one character and the characters all have their different abilities and items and weapons and the entire deck is built around that character.
Mhm.
And then for the competitive play, once a character wins so many tournaments or so many points, then they rotate out. So you can only have a character or a one prominent deck for a certain amount of time. So I was considering. So I think that would be interesting to try for CEDH. If a deck or a commander wins so many games, then it kind of rotates out and is quote unquote banned from CEDH for a bit.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a good way to mix it up, but it also depends on how helpful or how useful that commander is. Because who's to say they won't just pivot to another 5-color commander that does the exact same thing, so they still
Right.
have their 5-color good stuff pile.
Right. Or it
But I
might
think
be
it'd be
just
interesting.
super interesting to say like this, like I think about it in the terms of like Mortal Kombat too, because
Yeah.
I don't remember if I've told you I'm a big Mortal Kombat fan, and in some
Yes.
tournaments, some tournament plays like it'll be league plays, like it'll be like getting ready for the tournaments, but they'll say like these characters are banned from this event that we're doing today. So
Mhm.
I wonder if they would say like you said, banning commanders, maybe instead of banning commanders, because like you said, they could just switch out to, oh no, I can't use Kenrith. I'll just use literally another 5 color because it doesn't matter if I have Kenrith or not.
Sure.
Maybe saying like this color is banned from, or this like Wooburg is banned as a whole. You can't use
Mm.
Wooburg. Something like that where you're just like, all right, no red today. You can't use red. Like figure it
Mhm.
out, and how that changes the play pattern for one event out of many, just to like
With-
try
I don't
try
know.
it out, see what happens.
Yeah, I mean with CEDH though, if somebody finds out, if that was the case, like if this color combination was banned, and then I feel like everybody would just gravitate towards the next thing. Like, oh, I can't play my 5 color deck, so I'm just gonna play Kinnan instead. And then you just have the entire tournament, run rampant with Kinnans, which I've
That's
had
fair.
happen before.
That's fair. That's fair.
So
I guess
then
I guess
you just have to
it's an
kind of,
interesting
compound
dichotomy.
that. Hmm.
Yeah, you have to figure it out to see exactly what the end
Hmm.
product ends up being. But I guess
Right.
that's all science,
It's
right?
all
Like
it's all hypothetical. Yeah, it'd be
it's all
interesting to try and
hypotheticals.
run the numbers,
Yeah.
but
Who knows? I don't.
who
I sure
knows?
don't.
Going back
Go
to
ahead.
Canadian Highlander real quick,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
definitely lied and I thought that. Oh God, what did I say? Black Lotus was
Yeah,
the
Black
top
Lotus
one.
7.
Black Lotus is 7, but turns out Ancestral Recall is 8. So that's the
Oh,
highest.
wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of
It
points.
is a lot of points, which I personally have cut Ancestral Recall from all my Canadian Highlander decks. I have such a hard
I'm not
time
gonna lie.
justifying those full 8.
Yeah. What is a good 6.1?
Good 6 point. There's a few 3s, there's a couple 5s. The
Okay.
5 is a Mana Crypt, actually.
Okay. Would you rather 2 Moxes or a Mana Crypt?
2 Moxes.
2 Moxes?
2 Moxes.
Value. It's the value.
Value. Mhm, mhm, mhm.
To get 2 of
Plus,
them instead of like for the
yeah.
5 points. Yeah.
Yeah, as much as I love Mana Crypt as a card, it's also like you have to consider that it is a two-player format, so your upkeep's coming a lot more often, so you're running that risk of taking that 3 damage. And you're
Way
also,
less
I
life.
think, yeah, that's a huge loss of life at what? I think it was 20.
Yeah, it is 20. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like yeah, three damage at 20 instead of 3 damage at 40 is a big difference.
Oh yeah, especially when it's happening twice as often too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I think that's a fair point. That's a fair point.
Hmm.
It's I'm trying to think like for okay, so for Black Lotus,
Sure.
would you rather the Black Lotus or would you rather the Mana Crypt at that point? Based
It
on the cost as well.
sure. It depends on the deck I'm running, right? Because obviously
Yeah,
there's an Underworld Breach deck. I think it's literally just called Lotus Breach.
that makes sense.
Right, where the only points are Black Lotus and Underworld Breach.
Yeah.
So,
But
so
in a vacuum, what would you say?
in a vacuum, probably Mana Crypt. I
Okay.
I'm also kind of biased because I'm like, well, I don't really want to play Breach in Canadian Highlander. If I want to play Underworld Breach, I'll just go play CEDH, where
Yeah.
it's already really good.
And then I'll brain freeze people
And then
for
I'll
a
brain freeze
thousand.
people and win. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. And then I'll talk, and then I'll politic and have people look somewhere else, and then I'll win.
exactly.
Exactly.
Much harder politic in Canadian Highlander, obviously,
Oh
because it's
yeah.
1v1. So
Oh yeah.
I'm going to do a slight pivot here. If there is there anything else you wanted to add to the stuff we were just talking about?
I don't think so. I'm looking at the Canadian Highlander list. Everybody try Canadian Highlander. I think it's a really good format. It's community facilitated, so it's not run by WotC at all. They have a small like committee that looks at cards, looks at points, helps balance everything.
Yeah, try out. I'm gonna try it out. I promise I will make a deck. I need to just actually look at the points. That's the thing I haven't gotten to is a you'll see soon because you come. I don't know if everyone understands or not, but like Lill and I are actually friends.
We're actually friends IRL.
Actually
Isn't that
friends.
cute?
Oh, so cute.
Oh,
Um,
cute.
but you'll see when you come. I'm gonna try to clean this up, but my desk is just magic cards, just magic cards.
Oh,
I
cool.
need to get this figured out, and then I can like actually do stuff.
I'll
But I
bring my
love it.
extra Canadian Highlander decks too.
Heck yeah,
Yeah,
please do.
I love this format. I wish it had more players. I'm in the Canadian Highlander Discord. They're super great and super helpful. They've got all sorts of like deck archetypes, and everybody's kind of always looking for games or offering advice and deck techs and just talking about the meta and the format. Really, you can do anything you want in Canadian Highlander.
Even a boat. It could even be
Even
a
about,
boat.
even
Uh,
about.
the one thing I want to slightly pivot to because I know this is something that's also important to you because I know this will come out afterwards, but you're running an event
Yeah,
for
I
all
am.
women. we talk about it a little bit first, if you will, please.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to shout out Better Plays Games in Stowe, Ohio. Josh, specifically, he's the owner there, and he has been such a delight to work with for this. So, me and my friend Keegs MTG, are running a women and gender nonconforming event. Will be a free event to learn to play Magic for anybody who's ever felt uncomfortable in approaching an LGS. I don't think it's really outlandish or crazy for me to say that Magic as a whole and nerd spaces as a whole is very male dominated, specifically like white men.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always been a struggle for me as a woman of color to find a space or a safe space and the right people to play Magic with, because I love playing Magic, but there's outside factors apart from just the gameplay that make it hard for people like me to find a pod or feel comfortable playing this game.
Yeah, like literally just your existence is a thing.
Literally just my existence. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Keeks and I have been working with this store with Better Plays and wanting to make this accessible for everybody and start from the ground up. You know, you don't have to have any experience. We would just want to get more women and gender nonconforming people into Magic and let them know that this game is for everybody.
Yeah, and finding community,
Mm-hmm.
because that's something that can be very hard when you're a woman or a
Mm-hmm.
person of color, and in your case, both.
Right.
That can be something that can be incredibly difficult. And I think it's great that you're doing that. And the reason that I bring that up is because I know that finding women in the space that you
Mm-hmm.
feel like that you can connect with, and online's great, right? Like
Right.
being able to talk to people online is so great, love that, but having that in-person human connection is
Mm-hmm.
something that is different, right?
Yeah.
uh, and so why so what made you want to go on this venture of running an event? And I know you've mentioned wanting to do ones afterwards too, which is why, like, I want to bring up the
Mm-hmm.
fact that you're doing this event, even though this will
Yeah.
probably come out after. Like, you're going to do
Sure.
more, so this will be a chance for people to go look at other ones that you're going to do. But what made you say I'm going to do this instead of I want this to happen?
I think it was just because it was something that I found was lacking in my own life. Obviously, I have you know, you can make tons of friends online, and like you said, you know, and content creator spaces and knowing people and seeing other women play Magic on TikTok or on Instagram, and that representation obviously is still very important, but it's very different than seeing somebody online versus actually being able to sit in a pod with these people.
Yeah.
And I know, like I said, it's just kind of something I've seen that has been lacking in all the LGSs that I've been to. And
Yeah.
anytime I've tried to find other women to play with, or especially strangers to play with,
Yeah.
it's not as easy. And I'm very grateful for the friends I have here. Shout out again, Keegs and our friend Kirsten, because when I first moved to this LGS that I'm at now, I immediately became friends with one of the owner's wives, who's still one of my closest friends to this day. And I just realized that that was something that I wanted more of, was more women in Magic to talk about, not only Magic, just to feel comfortable around.
Yeah. Talk
And I
about
think that,
similar things that you go through.
yeah, similar experiences that we've had as women in these male dominated spaces.
Yeah. I think it's always interesting that sometimes when these conversations come up where it's like, I want to be around people like me, and some people will feel offended by that. They're like, "Whoa, what do you
Sure.
mean?"
Oh,
And I know you've seen that and I know you've seen that in your comments. I know he's seen that. I like, we've talked to people like that,
oh
but
yeah.
I think there's something that's so important about being around people who have similar experiences, not because we both play Magic, not because we both like anime, but because we both like sports, but because literally just our existence is a thing that
Hmm.
causes friction in the world or causes rifts in the way people look at things. And I think that's so important to have people that you can talk to and be like, I've been through this too. Or like,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
you hear that and you're like, oh my God, like I understand
Hmm.
because, me,
That's happened
you.
to me too. Right.
Exactly. So I'm really glad you found those people and I really hope that you're able to find more, because I think that's super important. And I think that something I've really appreciated about growing to know you is
Oh,
that
thanks.
I don't always get to be around people who are people of color. And we're
Hmm.
obviously we're not of the same race at that point,
Right.
but we have similar experiences where we've talked about
Mhm.
like I had this happen. You're like, oh yeah, I totally understand because this
Yeah,
family.
exactly.
It's like, and it's like 99% the same thing. It's just like one different word, and we're like, oh yeah, I totally get it.
Right. Oh yeah,
Um,
that's happened to me.
that's happened to me. So I really appreciate you for A, being you, and B, for wanting to go out and do those things where you're trying to connect with people to let them know that there are other people like you, that there are other people who understand what you're going through. There are other people who have fun doing these things,
Mhm.
and whether or not it's a male dominant space, you're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I I really couldn't have done it without all of these people that have helped me out, like you, the guys over at Better Plays. They've been so great, and I really appreciate. It's nice to find an LGS that's so supportive as well.
Yeah.
Um,
That's a whole other thing. Like it's hard to find LGSs that are going to be supportive of those missions.
right. That's how you know you got a good one, though, is if they're willing to have a ton of women come into their shop, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah. Yeah, just have all these women coming in and
Oh
have
yeah, what a shame.
fun,
Women
madness,
having fun, crazy. God
fun.
forbid.
Yeah. Let girls have fun.
Let girls have fun.
What is there and maybe this may end up being a question that gets repeated toward the end.
Mhm. Mhm.
But what is something that you want to see change in the space of WotC as it comes to women slash people of color slash both?
Oh my gosh. I know I actually listened to your podcast with Moon right before this, and I know
Mhm,
you guys kind of touched on this a bit as well, but just that I know Moon basically spoke on representation in Magic
mhm.
and just kind of how WotC almost sees women and queer people and people of color as like I almost I almost said it's just like a new demographic to reach out to and to get to spend money. But
Mhm.
that's what it feels like sometimes, yeah?
Sometimes
Especially
it
with the
does. Yeah.
yeah, and I want more representation that's not just looking at us for our money. We want
Mhm.
representation to actually get us to play the game and stay in the game. To be honest, that's kind of why I like loved Magic at first was because I saw some of these cards and I saw my favorite planeswalker is still Narset. And I'm like, oh my gosh, there's actually like an Asian woman in a card game. That's so cool. And she's still one of my favorite planeswalkers to this day for that exact reason is seeing that
Because
representation.
representation matters.
It does, exactly.
Yeah.
So more representation like that, less about the money making, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, and that gets into the whole, like, secret layer thing and then, all that, the
Although
universe beyond things too,
although I
so.
completely say this and I'm like, I still want a K-pop Demon Hunters secret layer, by
Oh,
the way.
yeah,
Please don't don't
both
take this
things
from
can be
me.
true. Both things can be true, like,
Please.
we can be like, "Stop doing that," but also,
Yeah, as a
"Please."
Korean woman, please give me K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, like, I like when they came out with the Latino secret
Yeah,
layer last year,
that one was
like
great.
I love it. I bought the one in
It was so
Spanish
cool.
because it's beautiful and gorgeous, and I have cards that are in a language that I know and can
Mhm.
speak, and
Yeah,
then
it's so
I
cool.
show it to other people, and they're like, "What does that say?" And I'm like, "Well, let me tell you." Um, and it's really, really cool. And I know there are like cards that are made in Spanish already and stuff like that, but like it to be so prominent,
Mhm.
to be like on the website and out there. But it can't, I hope it doesn't end there. Just like when they did the Pride a few years ago,
Yeah.
when they inevitably do like African American or Black one,
Mhm.
don't just do it and then put it in the back burner for a few years because we need to find the next demographic that we need to make money off of.
Right.
Let's keep like keep on those and keep doing those and
Yeah,
make sure
absolutely.
that we have those as prominent fixtures and not just
Yeah.
a flash in the pan.
Yeah, absolutely. These cultures and these sort of representations should be celebrated, not just sold as a bundle.
Yeah, yeah. Don't Walmart us or
Don't Walmart us. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Like
What was God, what was it a few
what
years ago from Walmart? Was it the Juneteenth like ice
yeah, it was a
cream?
Juneteenth. It was a Juneteenth ice
Yeah.
cream.
Yeah.
I was also gonna say, don't do the pride banner in the background, like the pride logo, where like you have the
Oh.
pride logo on for like a month and then just like
Oh
take
yeah,
it down right
then
after.
switch it off
Yeah.
immediately at the beginning
Yes.
of
J-
July. Yeah, I can't
thank,
stand
thank
that.
you, thank you. Jay sent me a note. This is, don't capitalize ethnicity. Like don't, yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
don't make my ethnicity your way of making money.
Your way of making money. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't make
Yeah.
our us being minorities in some way, shape, or form
Yeah.
the way that you're just like we can make money off of them.
Yeah. We're
don't
not
do
just
it.
token. I almost
Tokens. We're
said
not
we're not
tokens.
just tokens.
We're not tokens. Yeah.
We're not tokens. We are real people. We are
Yes.
planeswalkers.
Yes, we are planeswalkers. That's goddamn right. Lil, we've been talking for a long while here, and I don't want to keep you for too long.
Oh, you're good. I'm
Except
having
for
a good time.
odds are I'll probably just end up talking to you for hours later anyway. But
Yeah,
that's beside the point.
that's besides the point. That's just a normal day.
Yeah, this is a normal day. Yeah,
Yeah.
but what I do want to ask a few questions.
Sure.
These are going to be the hardest questions you'll have ever heard. You've already
Okay.
heard them because you,
I'm
especially
ready.
if you listen to Moon's podcast, so you know. And
Mm-hmm.
but we're going to start off with, what is your favorite all-time card? It can't be Thoughtseize.
Oh man.
I'm just joking. It
Damn
can
it.
be Thoughtseize. It can be Thoughtseize. Why
Thoughtseize
is it?
is one of my.
Why is it Thoughtseize?
I don't know what it is about Thoughtseize that I love so much because I started playing it. I started playing it in Pioneer.
Okay.
And it's just so efficient, and the art from the original Lorman is so great. I love the colors of it, and it's just so powerful, and I love that sort of disruption early
Yeah.
game. I think it's just a really, really good, powerful Magic card.
It really is. Shout out to a friend of me, Shy Twilight, who actually bought the playmat signed by the artist
Oh, that's so
for
cool.
her husband. It looks even better in playmat form somehow, and that card already looks super fucking sick. And then to have the artist sign it, crazy.
Yeah, it's cool.
So Thoughtseize, is there any other cards
Thoughtseize.
I knew it was going to be Thoughtseize, but like,
Yeah, I mean, I've talked about that card so many times.
yeah,
Let me
Thoughtseize is your
see.
whole personality. So
Thoughtseize is my whole personality. That's like anytime I can play a format where I'm running black, I'm trying to run Thoughtseize. So I've got
Yeah.
it in my Canadian Highlander, I've got it in Pioneer, I've got it in Modern.
Modern, which we
Yeah.
didn't even get a chance to talk about your Modern.
Oh, we
deck.
didn't. Yeah, we've been playing Modern together. It's been fun. I really like the deck I've got together. I'm having a good time.
I need to update mine because it's too slow, and
Yeah,
yours is.
and then I just pick you apart with the Thoughtseize. Yeah, that's the whole thing.
Pick me apart with Thoughtseize. Yeah. I hate Thoughtseize so much.
I love it. It's so good.
What is a favorite deck that you ever had? It doesn't even have to be Commander. What is your favorite deck that you've ever played with, or maybe had?
I'm trying to think of what I started playing. I mean, I kind of briefly mentioned this when I started playing Standard all those years ago, was the mono white Knights.
Yep.
And then I think it became mono white Convoke with Guilds of Ravnica.
Yep.
That deck was very good. It won me a few local tournaments, and that's kind of what got me that got me hooked on competitive play.
Mhm.
So that one was really good. I had, oh my gosh, let's see if I can remember some of the cards. Conclave Tribunal. It had Dauntless Bodyguard. It had some sort of Loxodon was the big top end.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a fun deck. Pioneer days, I really liked Arclight Phoenix. So Consider is also one of my favorite cards, or Opt is one of my favorite cards.
Whenever I think of really good cards that probably don't have any points in Canadian Highlander, I think of Consider. Those are the ones I think of. Does Brainstorm have any points?
Oh, let me pull it up. Brainstorm does not.
See, those are three really good cards.
Treasure Cruise is also in that deck. Yeah, but Phoenix is really cool. I really liked Lotus Field in Pioneer for a long time. That was super fun. What else? Now I'm thinking about commander decks that I played a lot. I like Nekusar the Mind Razor. I'm one of those.
This is group bug. No, it's not.
No, it's not. Sure isn't. I mean, like I was telling you guys before, I'm such a Grixis girly. Grixis has always been like my core colors that I've loved playing in all sorts of different formats.
I mean, knowing you, yes, that makes a lot of sense.
Oh, thank you.
That makes a lot of sense, and it's not, and that's not in any bad way whatsoever. It makes a lot.
Oh,
of sense.
No, it's fine.
Your play patterns are very.
You can say it in a bad way. That's fine.
Or it's in a terrible way.
Good.
What's your favorite name for a deck that you have? I have one in my head for you, but what
is it? The one? Is it the one I'm thinking of? Is it the I Sniff Glue?
It is I Sniff Glue. Yeah.
Shout out to Greedy. I love her. She helped me name my CEDH canon list, and it's just. I have her quoted here. Let me pull it up. She said, and I quote, "Canon players sniff glue, and I'm mad about it because they're better than me. So therefore, my canon list is named I Sniff Glue."
It's a great name.
It's such a good name.
Do you have any other ones?
That's what I'm looking at right now. I had the Terra CEDH list for a minute. I called it terracotta cheese. I don't even like terracotta cheese. I just thought it was funny.
I mean, that's great. That's really good.
Ooh, one of my first CEDH decks was Dawn Waker, so it was Thrasios, Bruce
Ooh,
Tarl.
okay.
So it was everything but black, and I called it Dawn Waken Ass Shaken. That's a good one. um
Side note, while you're looking, I just have to say this. Every time I talk to a person now, ever since you recorded the Lorwyn review with Rachel and
yeah,
Keegs
with the
and
girlies.
Monica,
Uh-huh.
every time someone comes on here, one of the first things they ask is like, "Oh, can we swear?" And I'm like, "I'm going to tell you what Lill said." Lill
Can I
asked,
say the fuck
"Can
word?
I, can I say the fuck word?" And I said, "You can say the fuck word."
Let's
Um,
go.
yeah,
I'm gonna say
so
the fuck word.
I'm going to say the fuck word. But
Oh,
yeah, that's just another thing.
I'm still looking at all my my deck list names.
You're good. You're good.
Mm,
But I just think that's something that actually just sticks with me now. And every time I just want to let you
You
know
can
you can
say
say the fuck word.
you can say the word.
You can say the fuck word.
That was also,
Um,
I think that's technically a quote from Greenie as well, because I think she
oh,
messaged me at one point. She's like, "This is where I say the fuck word." I'm like, "Oh, good for you, girly."
shout out Greenie. I love Greenie. What? While you're looking for a couple other things, I'm gonna ask you a couple more questions.
Sure, sure.
Besides Thoughtseize, this is actually besides Thoughtseize.
Okay.
What is a card you think people should play more often
Ooh, in what format? Anything ever?
in any format?
Any format. Let me look at some things. Let me go back to my Canadian Highlander deck, because that's, like I said, just a smorgasbord of all of my favorite
Yeah.
cards.
And while you're looking for that, I know people are going to say that's not the next question. Usually, ask what's the card you play most often. It's Thoughtseize. She plays
It's not
Thoughtseize
Sage.
more
We've
often.
already talked about this. Yeah.
Yeah,
Counterspell feels too easy.
yeah. Or a play
Ooh.
pattern. It doesn't have to be, or it could be a mechanic. What is something
Mhm.
that people should do more often
And
in Magic as a whole? It doesn't have to be Commander, but in Magic as a whole. Like I know some people brought up Convoke. I love Convoke. I think
Convoke's
Convoke's great.
cool. Are we talking in-game mechanics or just like play patterns?
Either way, either way.
Either way. I think people need to work on their threat assessment. I'm a
Hey,
strong
that's
believer
fair.
in this. Not necessarily even just like, I guess it kind of does play into like control and removal. Is just knowing when to push and when to use that, which can also
When to
be
hold them.
communicated through politics, right?
Yeah,
Which is something I often try and do, and I'm sure you've seen me do it as well. When somebody tries to go to counter something, I'm like, "Are you sure? Because we should look at this thing instead," and just start that conversation.
yeah, yeah.
And then
You are very good about that.
thank you, and then also just kind of talking through my thought process of why I think that as well is super important. Not just saying it to get people, not just saying it to take people's eyes off of my own board, but also realize what's actually happening in the game. Again,
Mhm.
kind of going back to those heads up plays I try and make.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. I think it makes sense. I think threat assessment is, I mean, I think that's something that gets brought up by a lot of people because there are a lot of
Mhm.
people who have really bad threat assessment.
Oh yeah. Oh, it pisses
Um,
me off so much.
what do you think is the most offensive form of bad threat assessment? Is it I'm going to target this person because I know they're good? I'm going to target this person because I know that commander's good, or
Mhm.
I'm going to target this person because they were winning early in the game and I'm not going to change from that.
Oh, that one. That one
That one.
is the absolute worst. I mean, I've played in casual games where people have targeted me because they know I play CEDH, and that's frustrating,
Yeah.
sure. I don't know. I feel like it all kind of leads into the same a bit as well, but yeah, when somebody's just like un not willing to listen to you at all when you're trying to make an argument for yourself, it's just so frustrating.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's totally fair. I think that also is the most annoying thing to me
Mhm.
is like just because I was doing well early game doesn't mean I have anything going
Right.
on right now.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
there's no reason to go after me anymore. Or but I will say what let me ask you, what is second most annoying then? Is it the a commander or is it the player that they
The player, I think,
okay.
because I mean, I'm sorry I'm speaking so much in anecdotes, but like
No, you're good.
I've also had that where I've been like, I sit down with, and I tell people this is literally a precon. Like I can't really do much with it, and then still get targeted out of the game. It's
I'm
just,
not gonna say I've ever done that, but I've definitely done that to you.
It's fine. That game wasn't going well anyway. I wanted out.
That game was going really bad. That game
It was going
going
so
really
poorly. I'm like, just take me out. Let's
I
just go to
actually
the
did you.
next one.
I actually did you a favor.
You
It's
did me a
really
solid. Thank
yeah.
you.
You
Because
got to leave.
I think you were about to like roll a die to decide who you were going to kill. I'm like, just take me out.
Yeah,
Just let me go.
yeah. You're just like
Release me.
I'm gonna go look at card. I want to rip cards anyway.
I don't even want to be. I just want to rip this anyway. Yeah.
What is
Release me from this
the
hellhole.
what is the best card rip that you've had?
I don't know if this needs to be discussed because it's pretty public. Yeah.
Go for it. I mean, maybe someone hasn't seen your stuff and they don't know.
So, once upon a time, Watsi used to put out these cards that were serialized on them. And in Ravnica Remastered, they kind of went crazy and added a ton of serialized cards to a ton of different collector packs. How many were there? There was a ton of them.
There was a lot. I don't remember, but there was too many.
Because it was
I'm not gonna lie. There was too like it was Ravnica, and then it was like Brothers War where they had just like
we had like over
everything.
because
Everything
it was 50 each, right? Was it
Yeah.
or was it 500 each? Oh my
500 each.
gosh,
I think it was
500
500.
each. And I remember in Ravnica Remaster they had all 10 of the shotguns, 500 each, and then some legendary creatures. I digress. Anyway, so I want to clarify.
Editor's note: 64 in Ravnica Remastered. 64 serialized cards.
64 cards, 500 cards each.
Yeah,
Let me pull up a calculator.
that doesn't feel very special at that point. What is that like?
It doesn't. That's
30, like
32,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
crazy.
my friend and I were actually funny enough at Better Plays Games. Shout out Better Plays Games. That's shout out Better Plays. Shout out Josh. And we ripped a serialized Godless Shrine, which I still have to this day. And that was also pretty early in my TikTok career, if I remember, kind of posting about that and talking about it.
I think that's insane. Like
it was crazy. I have the footage somewhere of it, of like the security footage of when it happened. Because I didn't actually rip it. I was doing the flipping on that pack, and my friend Finn did the ripping, and then she flipped it. She ripped it. She set it down. She's like, "Oh, it's just a godless shrine." And then I like did a double take at it. And I'm like, "Oh, that foiling's different." And then we looked at it again, and everybody freaked out.
Oh my gosh. What is there? You only like ripping on the flip and rips, right? Like you don't know that you're ripping it. It gets ripped, and then you find out what it is, right?
Right. Yeah.
What is your dream rip?
Like a card that I want to rip.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I have that flip and rip deck. It's currently a Rafine Esper deck. So I'm almost everything in it's ripped at this point. So there's still a few cards that I'm wanting to fill in just for like the deck's sake. So like a Rafine's Tower from Streets of New Capenna, like an Arcane Signet, actual like practical cards.
Yeah.
But I would love to rip like a Kaladesh Masterpiece of some sort.
Oh my gosh.
I would love that.
That'd be crazy.
Or more practically, I would love to rip a Ristic Study or a Smothering Tithe, which is
which Smothering Tithe? Which Smothering Tithe?
Wilds of Eldraine, the anime, the Tuwu. Did you pay the Tuwu Smothering Tithe?
Confetti foil or non?
Confetti foil, absolutely.
Okay. Is there a card that if you ripped, you would actually feel bad?
No, absolutely not.
So if you got a Final Fantasy Collector's Booster and you ripped a gold Chocobo, 77.
77.
Out of 77.
No.
Out of 77, you would not feel bad?
No, absolutely not. What's crazy is that I've still had people offer to pay me for the Godless Shrine, even though it is ripped in half and very publicly ripped in half. They've offered me like a couple hundred for it.
That's insane.
So it's crazy to think that they're still valuable and people would still want to buy them, even though they are obviously heavily damaged.
Heavily. Very heavily. Have you ever wanted to send one in to get PSA'd?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've considered that with the Godless Shrine as well. I've written this email to PSA so many times just to be like, hey, is this something you would do as a joke? But I know PSA's fees and everything are like the only thing that's keeping me back from doing that.
They're insane. Yeah, you
They're
have to do.
they're
I guess you
insane.
have to do it in person. You'd have to be. I mean, you are going to MagicCon. They might have a PSA thing there.
Maybe I'll bring it up and ask him. But it's also like, yeah, it would be cool to have graded, but also it's cool to actually have in a deck and be able to play it as well.
That would actually be really cool. Let me ask you
It's
this.
it's in it. It's in my Esper deck.
I believe it. It hurts me, but I believe that. Let me ask you this. In your opinion, do you
Mhm.
care about grading? Do you care about grading? Before I ask this
No,
question,
absolutely not.
absolutely not.
Nope.
Well, I'll ask you this question anyway.
Sure.
What do you think is more valuable? Invaluable. What do you think is more invaluable? A 10 or a 0?
A 0 because I think it's funnier. I have a few graded Pokemon cards, and they're all like, I think one of them is a Raichu from PSA, and it's like a 2.
That's incredible.
I absolutely love it. I think I got it on off of eBay for like $20.
I bet you if you were to look up I think 1 is the lowest they go. I almost guarantee you if you looked up what the 1 was worth, it'd be like almost as much as a 9.
Yeah, it's crazy how because I've heard that ones are also really hard to get.
They're super rare, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's the same thing, it's just opposite.
But yeah, it's
Same
the
thing,
same
but
thing, but
opposite.
flipped in reverse.
Yeah, yeah, same thing, but in
Yeah.
reverse.
Yeah, it's just if it's rare, whether it's a good rare or bad rare,
Or
if
bad
it's
rare, yeah.
rare, people want it for some reason.
Yeah.
I had one more question. Oh,
Okay.
okay. What is since you've
Mhm.
been playing, what is
Mhm.
your favorite set and what is your least favorite set?
Ooh, good question. I think my favorite set is still War of the Spark. I know that was very controversial when it, like, came out.
Wow.
Do
Yeah.
you War of the Spark was I mean, that was the first set I was really entrenched in Magic because, like I said, I started in
Yeah.
Dominaria, so I was still fairly new, and then when Guilds of Ravnica came out, that was my first pre-release I did. I told
Yeah.
you about this just a bit ago. That was my
Yeah.
first pre-release I did with my friends.
But it also
That's what
War of the Spark has the uncommon Narset, so that makes a lot of
Yeah,
sense.
it has the Narset part of Veils, the one that
Yeah.
nobody likes, but I absolutely
Yeah.
loved it. Um, yeah, and it was just like I remember that cinematic with Liliana. I loved that. I love that it was like the conclusion to a huge story arc.
Yep. That
Uh,
Cinnamon is insane.
it was crazy. I really liked all the planeswalkers. I know that was a controversial take with giving them all of the passives. That was brand new to Magic, I believe, at the time.
Yeah.
Like that was the first time we saw those passive abilities on planeswalkers.
Yep.
And there was like what 30 planeswalkers or something crazy.
There's so many. There were
Yeah.
so many.
Plus, that's when they started doing all the alternate art and the Japanese packs, and I loved all of those as well.
They were pretty cool.
Yeah, so that was one of my favorites. It's a bit of like it's a bit nostalgic,
Yeah.
especially with that Nar set as well. But that's
Yeah.
my favorite set. Least favorite set so far. Ooh, I don't think it's my least favorite, but I know it was like a turning point in Magic was
Yeah.
Throne of Eldraine, the original Eldraine.
Okay.
It's not my least favorite set. I do like the set a lot. It has a lot of powerful cards, but that's when I stopped playing Standard was when Oko was released.
That makes sense.
So I just remember that being like such a turning point in me wanting to play Standard because I just wasn't having fun at that point. So I turned to Commander, and that's how we got to where we are now.
Mm,
Um,
interesting.
yeah, and then I know that's also kind of looking at WotC as a company. That's when they started pushing the collector packs. That was their first step
Yeah.
for collectors and all of
Yeah.
the online sales, and that kind of snowballed into again where we are now,
Yep.
which I'm not super happy with.
You can talk about that if you want. Like I said, this is your podcast. I'm just hosting it.
Oh, how much I don't like collector packs.
Yeah.
I guess I did. It's not that I don't like collector packs. It's fine. I just don't like WotC artificially creating scarcity.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a hot take to say at all.
I mean, you're probably right. It, it's not a hot take, probably, but also there are
Probably.
people who argue. There are people who argue for collectors boosters, right? There are people who do
Sure.
that because they're like, oh, if you want a special card, you should. But like the whole point of buying packs was like, when I started Pokemon when it first came out. Like if there was a difference between me getting a Charizard out of a regular pack and I had to go spend more money for a different pack, I'm never
Hmm.
finding that Charizard. Like I'm
Exactly.
never finding that Charizard.
Right. Right. Take us back to just the draft boosters, man. I miss those days.
Yeah. I didn't mind draft versus set. I didn't once they added the collectors. I was like, this is crazy.
I thought it was collectors and then set came afterwards. So
Was it?
I thought for Eldraine it was the draft set
You're
and then
right.
the
I
or I'm
had it
sorry, the
back.
draft box and then the collector box, yeah?
Yeah, you're right. I had it backwards. I had it backwards.
And then the
So
set
if we had
came
to go
with
all the way,
Zendikar, I think?
yeah,
Zendikar Rising?
yeah. See,
Wow, I forgot about that set too.
yeah. I see. This is listen to people who are smarter than you, everyone, because that's why I have Lill around because she's smarter than me.
I'm not
Um,
smarter than you, stop it. I
uh,
just know a
you
lot about
pay
magic and
and you pay better attention than I do. Did you have you always cared about the story, or did you just care about this? Did you care about War of the Spark and you haven't really like paid attention to it since
I
then?
think that's kind of when I stopped was War of the Spark. Because I don't know. I think that was just the end. It felt like a good point to stop. And like I said in the Lorwyn episode, I'm not huge on lore anyway. I think it was
Yeah.
just that cinematic that I really liked.
If they brought those back, would you care more?
Probably not. No.
No. Okay.
No. I think I've been playing enough Magic now to know what I like and know what I don't. Just
That's fair.
how I want to interact with the game.
That's fair. Okay, and then one more question, then well, two more questions actually, and then
All right,
we
cool.
can
Cool, cool, cool.
things up here. What are we kind of talked about a little bit, and this kind of leads to the money thing. What is your outlook on Universes Beyond?
Oh man. There's too many is like the first thing that comes to mind. There's
Okay.
too damn many. Um I think I'm how do I feel about Universes Beyond? To be honest, I haven't given it much thought because it for me it's just it is what it is. Watsy's
Mhm.
going to do what they want and
Yeah.
it's hard for me to give an opinion and make a huge argument if I just kind of accept it, you know.
Yeah.
I do like the Universes Beyond sets. Like I'm trying to think of ones that I liked. Final Fantasy and Avatar, I'm a bit biased. Like I love Avatar: The Last Airbender. That was like the most recent set that I really bought a ton of, just because I'm biased towards that IP.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, we've seen with Lorwyn how much they've been pushing back their actual in universes sets, or how
Yeah.
much they've been kind of neglecting it. And it is sad.
Yeah. I have a nuanced point of view on this now after
Hmm.
thinking about it for a while. I think they should keep Universes Beyond not as it is, but do what they were doing with like Brothers War, where they
Hmm.
had and what they did with Ixalan,
Hmm.
where it's just like there were Jurassic Park cards, there were Transformer cards.
Hmm.
So that way you can have some of that in some of the Universes Beyond stuff, but you're still keeping like your main sets, your
Right.
main stories in the thing instead of having four sets of Universes Beyond and oh, there happens to be magic sets along the way too.
Yeah, I think my gripe with Universes Beyond isn't with like the universes beyond as a whole and bringing new IPs in. That I don't mind so much. I think it's just the accessibility of these cards, especially like the secret
Yeah.
layers in particular that are like new designs. Those I
Yeah.
have a huge issue with, which is why I'm very pro proxy, not only as a CDH player but just in general. I think Magic is expensive and it should be accessible to everybody. If people want to play these
Agreed.
cards, they should be able to play these cards. Who cares?
Agreed. Which is why proxies are great.
Proxies are
Places like
great.
Harmless Offering is great because providing cards to people who might not have the ability to find those cards otherwise. Magic Kids who are providing kids with cards.
Absolutely.
Of those kind of things. So I agree. Proxy's good.
Proxy's good.
People finding ways to get people into the game without breaking their wallet or mortgaging their house, also good.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, and
One last. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say people who gatekeep Magic are ridiculous, and I don't like them.
Yeah, get out of here.
Get out of here.
All right. One last question I do want to ask
Yeah.
is what are some hopes that you have for yourself, for the
Mhm.
game of Magic, for
Mhm.
WotC, and maybe anything else in between?
Oh
What
my
are some hopes you
gosh.
have for the future?
Like goals I have for myself?
It can be goals. It could be like like MagicCon would have been one that you would have said you hope you can make
Sure.
it to, or like maybe it's something to do with your content. Maybe it's just something that has to do with you. Like
Mhm.
whatever it is, what are some goals or some hopes that you have for the future
Well,
for WotC, for Magic, for whatever?
funny enough, I have an entire bingo board for 2026 full of
Yes,
hopes and dreams that I have for this year.
Name some of those things because I think they're hilarious.
Oh, this is. Let me pull up the board real quick. But this is kind of like how I've been approaching Magic. I've been, especially with my content lately, I feel like I've kind of hit a wall, and I'm trying to avoid that burnout. So I just haven't been taking it super seriously. I know it's not like the ideal content creator thing, but I approach it when I want to approach it and keep myself interested in post things that I want to post for fun. Let me look at my bingo board, and then the bingo board kind of like reflects that as well. Is that I'm trying not to take Magic or WotC or anything like that too seriously, because at the end of the day, it's just a game that I use to connect with people and connect with my friends like you guys.
Yeah.
But anyway, the first one I have is a Yowie secret layer.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting that this year. Really, everything on this board is just kind of goofy.
Super.
I mean, obviously there are some criticisms of WotC on that board, like especially with them being accidentally misogynist, which they've kind of done before.
Yeah. And there's a chance. There's always a chance.
There is a high chance, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
think
that's really my goal, is just kind of not stress myself out too much about my own content and just kind of go with the flow and remember why I'm doing this in the first place.
Yeah, I think that's important. You never want to burn your. I think, especially recently, we've seen some people that we support and enjoy feeling that burnout, or maybe just like all of a sudden disappear, and we're like, oh, I hope, where are they? I hope they're okay, kind of thing.
Right.
So I think anything you can do to help yourself not feel that burnout and continue to do the things you enjoy, which you're really good at, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. I think it's important to find that balance for yourself, and if that takes whatever form that takes, I can't wait to see what that does for you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We'll figure it out together.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, we will. Well, Lil, thank you so much for coming today and joining me for a fun conversation. I really enjoyed this. This was a gigantic blast.
Well, thank you so much, Jose. I've had such a good time. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too. Is there anything you want to shout out, or anything you want, things coming up, like, you have MagicCon coming up, and anything that you want to talk about and have people follow for?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'll be at MagicCon Vegas just hanging out, most likely just playing some EDH and really just trying to get to meet as many people as I can. So stop by, say hello. And then in the Midwest, like we talked about earlier, Keegs and I are looking into other shops to hold these Women in Magic events. So if you know of anybody, know of any cool stores or LGSs that we could get in contact with, just let me know.
And make sure to follow LillTCG on Instagram and TikTok. And I believe, is that it?
That is it. I'm very lazy. I don't have a Facebook. I know Doggo talked about talked about being on
That's where the
Facebook and all
money's
of
at.
that, but
That's where the money's at, apparently.
that's where the money's at apparently, but I don't know.
Yeah, but make sure you go follow Lill. Lill is hilarious. Lill is fantastic. Just a really genuinely good person. And if you need a little anger in your life, go watch her rip some cards. So that'll do you too.
You don't have to tell me twice. I will rip anything and everything.
I know you will. I know you will. Well, thank you again so much for joining us. I greatly appreciate you.
Hey, thanks, bud. Appreciate you.
Not even a problem. And everyone else, thank you so much for joining us again. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and put that notification bell on so you don't miss an episode like this one, which again has been fantastic. But we appreciate your time today. And remember, when despair tries to win, counter with hope. Have a great day. And we're good.
Damn it, I forgot to mention. Fuck.